Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hank and on this channel I'll be talking about Kiwi personal finance. Currently, Investnow is one of the best long-term investment platforms available in New Zealand because it has no monthly or annual platform fees. The downside is that it has more than 100 different funds to choose from, and it can get very confusing for beginners or even more advanced investors. How do I know which fund to pick? Do I just look at last year's results and put all my money into whatever returns the highest? In this video, I'll be talking about the 5 best funds on Investnow for complete beginners to start investing for the long term. If this type of content might be useful to you, please just take 2 seconds out of your valuable time and just gently tap the like button. It'll help out the YouTube algorithm and the channel so much. And now let's get into it. Let's talk about the different types of funds that Investnow has on offer. They can be broadly separated into actively managed funds and passively managed funds. The worst part of it is that actively managed funds tend to have a worse return than just buying the market index over the long term. So today I'll be focusing more on passively managed funds since they are great for beginners, usually have lower fees, and have a greater return over the long term. I will be narrowing down the long list of funds using 3 very simple criteria. Number 1, good returns. I'm looking for more than 7% per year return over the long term if the fund invests in shares. Number 2, low fees. I'm looking for fees that are under 1% and ideally under 0.5%. The lower the fee, the more profit you'll get from your investment. Number 3, diversification. It's always good to invest in funds that invest in multiple different sectors in case one of the sectors does not do well. Now onto the 5 best funds for beginners on Investnow. At number 5, we have the SmartShares Global Aggregate Bond Fund. Bonds are essentially a loan to a government or a corporation, and it tends to be less volatile than shares. This fund invests in the iShares Global Bond Fund, and it covers governments, government-related, corporate, and security bonds. It is also hedged to the New Zealand dollar so that it is less affected by currency fluctuations. At number 4, we have the AMP Australasian Property Index Fund. This portfolio tracks property investment funds in Australia and New Zealand. This is good for people who wishes to dabble in property investment without actually having to purchase a property themselves. At number 3, we have the AMP Capital New Zealand Shares Index Fund. This fund invests in the S&P NZX Top 50 Index, which includes the top 50 companies on the New Zealand Exchange, including companies such as Meridian Energy, Spark Communications, and A2 Milk. This is a very good option if you want to invest in the big businesses in New Zealand. At number 2, we have the Vanguard International Shares Select Exclusion Fund, both the hedged and unhedged version. This fund invests in the MSCI World Index, which exclude Australia, emerging markets, tobacco, nuclear, and weapon companies. It is still a highly diversified fund with more than 1,500 assets. The fund has a low fee of 0.2% for the unhedged version, but it is a foreign investment fund, so you would have to do your own taxes. Now, if you are happy doing your own taxes, this is a very good choice as a high growth fund. At number 1, we have the AMP Capital All Country Global Shares Index Fund. This is a passively managed fund that tracks the MSCI All Country World Index. It is also hedged to the New Zealand dollar so that it's less subjected to currency fluctuations. Similar to the Vanguard Exclusion Fund, it covers the 23 developed markets, including Australia, but also 26 emerging markets such as China and Brazil. It is a highly diversified fund with more than 2,800 companies in it. If you are a long-term investor and doesn't want to do your own taxes and only want to hold one fund, this might be a good option for you. In summary, these are some of the best funds that Investnow currently have on offer for beginner investors. The Vanguard Exclusion and AMP Global funds are quite similar and both very good. So just pick your favorite one out of the two as your high growth fund, and then sprinkle in some other funds to create your basic portfolio. In the next video, I'll be providing examples on how to create a portfolio based on your investment time frame and risk appetite. Check out my previous videos if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.